All right, let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I did an updated review for Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Check that out. I'm not a big Five Nights at Freddy's person. If you know that, if you watch my channel, I don't play any games. I did an updated review for the first one because I was trying to give it more of a fair shake because I didn't really care for the first one, and I still don't really care for it. Rewatch. Don't hate it. It's whatever. Watching this movie is just I do hate this movie. I don't say that lightly. I do hate this movie. I can see it. Now, here's the thing. It's 11% Rotten Tomatoes. What the fuck are you all smoking? It's not that fucking bad. This is a very watchable general audience movie. Like, the theater I was watching it with was eating it up. Like, they were invested. You could feel that. So I don't really understand what you're getting so upset about. When I say I hate it, it's just because I see through all the bullshit that this movie's doing. And I was just so bored. So let me start with the things I really like before I just start ripping this movie to shreds. I don't. I will say, I thought the marionette creature thing was cool. That thing looked cool. It was scary. It was effective design. It was fucking weird. I wish they had done more interesting stuff with that. Maybe showed some of it in shadows instead of showing as much as they did. Um, and we'll get into some of that my negatives. I enjoy the Jim Henson's work on the creature designs. Um, I feel like they do a good job of making them look kind of cute, but also creepy in the right ways. So So I don't know. I like that. I liked all that stuff. Is there anything else? Nope, there was nothing else. I'm sorry. They're just this is just it's just it's just so not good. Like, first of all, I feel like there's some people who might be tempted to be nice to this movie, like, well, it's an entry level horror movie, and just because it's an entry level horror movie doesn't mean it necessarily has to be bad. Like, this movie's bad, and it doesn't need to be bad because there's enough interesting concepts here that if you'd had a really good director behind the scenes that know how to play this stuff with a little more humor. I think that's the main problem with these Five Nights at Freddy's movies. And I don't know the game, so I can't speak to it. But these are like Terrifier movies. But if Terrifier movies were a lot less fun. And what I mean by that is they're not going for the same thing a Terrifier movie is, but if you listen to the people who make Terrifier, they go into interviews and they think that they're making a real movie. They think that they're making like a real movie. And they got all this. And then when you watch the Terrifier movies, most people are just watching it for the gore and they're waiting for that carnage candy, right? Five Nights at Freddy's, the main people who are watching it, besides the hardcore fans, are people just waiting for the kills and the animatronics to do stuff. But just like in Terrifier, you have to work your way through this bullshit plot with these dumb characters. But unlike in Terrifier, where that stuff is the least part of the movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, both these movies, that's the main stuff of the movie. This one is worse than the first one because when you watch this one, you got a subplot about this girl, his sister from the first movie, missing the ghost children in the Five Nights at Freddy's dolls, which is stupid as hell. Because, like, what am I supposed to emotionally connect with there? Like, I don't understand that. You get the subplot about him and that one girl trying to reconnect, and then you got the one girl's being haunted of visions and guilt of Matthew Lillard's character. You got like all these different fucking subplots for no reason. McKenna Grace is here for some reason. Why is she here? Fuck that shit. Like, McKenna Grace is actually a great actress. Like, why is she here? Just other than to maybe boost ticket sales off her name, but Why? I there's just so many things like that. I'm just like, okay, so so there was a couple moments I'm watching and going, I'm like, all right, I'm engaging with this. I'm liking some of the kills and stuff. Even like the one girl doing the science project thing, and Wayne Knight being the teacher. It's like, why is he an asshole? Why is this even here? There's just so much of this movie, and I feel like also some of it would have worked if like there's a sense of humor to it, like when you watch an Evil Dead movie or something like that, like a Sam Raimi type, there's a sense of humor to it. Maybe make it a little tongue in cheek, and that would have also made it a much better entry level horror movie, because some of the best entry level horror movies are like horror comedy type movies where there's a sense of humor to it, and there's like actual horror to it. But instead, they just made a really bad, boring movie that no one should watch, but it's going to make a ton of money because the fans of the games are going to eat that shit up. And people just like Five Nights. I think feel like there's a lot of people wearing shirts going into this movie, and I could tell they're like 30 or 40-year-old dudes, and you're going like, you don't like Five Nights at Freddy's, but you just kind of like the iconography of it. There's also some cynical aspects of this movie. There's a part where the giant Freddy Fazbear shit starts walking through this event, Freddy Fazbear Con. I'm like, this is something that they're gonna do at the Universal theme parks, and that's why this is in this movie. There's no reason for that to be in the movie, and so it just all felt so cynical and lazy and uninspired. When in a way, I think there was a lot of people who were hoping that this movie would be an improvement off the first one, and to me, I didn't really feel that way, because I'm like, well, the point of these movies is to give the audience what they want, and they told the audience what they wanted with that first movie. So I think this movie is worse than the first movie, but I also don't think the audience that liked that first movie will hate this movie. So I do think critics are being a little overly harsh, but at the same time, it is a pretty bad movie. Like, why is this a movie the way it is? So, I don't know, man. I just couldn't stand this shit. Let me know your thoughts.